Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jesse, you're watching JL's Comics. Thanks for pressing play. If it's your first time here, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. We upload new comic book and superhero content weekly and movies as well. So I've had a couple people reach out to me in the past couple of days. Wasn't sure I wanted to do this video or save it for a weekly live show, which we do every Thursday night here on the channel, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and talk about it there. But some folks have asked about Major X and Rob Liefeld and what's going on with the controversy and what is the first appearance. There's a couple books that could be it, and we'll just run through that quickly, take a look at a couple other things. So let's start with the chronological order. Spider-Man vs. Deadpool came out actually before Major X #1. Liefeld had intended Major X #1 to be the first appearance. However, Rob insists that his variant covers, which by the way are store exclusives for Deadpool #10, which feature Major X strictly on the cover, are in fact the first appearance of Major X and not the Spider-Man Deadpool #47. Rob did quote on Twitter, "Oh yes, you know, first appearance is on a cover, but we could take a look at Guardians of Nowhere #1, which came out in 2015, Rob Guillory cover, which features Gwenom." I know that it's not the end-all be-all in terms of who determines what in terms of the comic book industry and first appearances and key issues, but if you take a look at a CGC slab, Guardians of Nowhere #1 variant cover actually doesn't indicate anything about the first appearance for Gwenom until you get all the way up to her true first appearance. It just says Gwen Stacy variant cover. And then if you take something a little more recent, for example, if you take a look at Amazing Spider-Man and Red Goblin, big issue came out last year as Dan Slott was celebrating his very long run on Spider-Man, heading up towards issue 800. The true first appearance for Red Goblin, it says first Norman Osborn as the Red Goblin, is 798. However, Comic Exposure had a cover for issue 796, which featured him on the cover. And as you can see here, it doesn't say anything about that. So we take a look at Deadpool #10, which came out before either of these issues, which came out, I can tell you that in a moment. It's not going to indicate that, sorry Rob. At best, you'll get first cover appearance. So Deadpool #10 came out March 6, 2019. That was the first one. Rob, because of the cameo that he found, rushed out a variant cover for his store. It's a special arrangement that he has with Marvel to be able to get Major X onto a cover a week before Spider-Man Deadpool #47 that came out March 13th. Very small one-panel cameo in the issue. You can see it here. And then, of course, Major X #1, which came out April 3rd. And that should be the first full appearance. Rob did say on Twitter, "Let me tell you that Spider-Man Deadpool #47 is in no way the first appearance of Major X. It came out a week after Deadpool #10. I'm giving it notice by mentioning it here, but I will never, ever sign a single copy. Deadpool #10 came out a week before, as I anticipated a cloud move like this." Now, there's a couple of things that I take issue with here. One is the actual calling of Deadpool #10, which is strictly a cover appearance as the first appearance. The other thing I take issue with is airing this public gripe with Matt Horak and Marvel in this public space. And the third thing is the idea that he will never sign a single copy. I find that really hard to believe. So again, Major X cover appearance for Deadpool #10. It's only available through Liefeld Creations or at his booth, and it's a between $40 and $100 book. So the other aspect of this debate is that while Rob did in fact come up with Major X, the character is owned by Marvel Comics, and any character created for their books are wholly owned by the company. Rob's Cable and his Deadpool and Domino are wholly owned by Marvel Comics, and because of that, they can allocate their appearances as they wish, and that's exactly what they did here. Marvel reached out to the creative team on Spider-Man Deadpool, which was Robbie Thompson and Matt Horak, and told they could use the characters as they wish, which is understandable, and so they did. So he appeared in this very tiny Dark Side or even Venom-esque cameo in just the one panel behind the falling shark man. So you see it right there, right above Spider-Man's hand, and that's it. But it seems that Matt Horak, in creating these panels, actually had no idea he was usurping Major X's first appearance. He actually wanted to pay a tribute, and this is something you can read here that he said in this post on Twitter. Rob and Matt had previously worked on The Covenant back in 2015 for Image Comics. I'm sure there was kind of an element there of wanting to do something cool for his friend, you know, unaware that it was previous to the character's first appearance, which is why I take issue with the way he said that Horak was doing this clown move. His words, not mine. Editor working on the X title should have been aware of the plan for Major X before giving Matt Horak the okay to use the character. That's my take on it. Regardless of frustration or, you know, feelings of being slighted, it was wrong for Rob in my opinion, to accuse Matt of, again, the clown move. Should have spoken to him directly off social media. That's a lack of professional courtesy. And the fact that he aired it in the public forum, and this perception here that Rob is really wanting the glory for this, understandable because he did create it, but there's the whole aspect of the cash grab, the money. He's wanting you to go for that first appearance from his website and charging you $100 for it. What might have been kind of a publicity stunt seems to be working against Rob, where it might have actually helped sales if it was handled a bit differently. But Matt, to confirm that it wasn't a quote-unquote clown move, did reply to Rob on Twitter. And you can read that here. He said, "Not trying to clown, I just liked the design and was told I could use whomever I wanted in our story. I didn't realize it would be in stores before Major X1. Just wanted to pay tribute, honestly. No offense meant." And later he said, "I said it elsewhere and I'll say it again, not clowning, just like the character. And thought it would be cool Easter egg to throw in. Had no idea it would see print before Major X. No harm intended. I love Rob." And they're bummed that anyone could think of it in a malicious way. So what constitutes a first appearance? What constitutes a cameo? How could this, depending on how it shaked out, affect other books like Gwenpool, for example, or Spider-Gwen's costume showing up in Hawkeye versus Deadpool #0. And the other thing I want to ask you guys, what determines what becomes a key issue? Is it Overstreet? Is it CBCS, CGC? Is it us, the fans? Should the creators be able to determine that? Do you see any type of conflict of interest with that, or with this case that Rob has here? Is Rob right to refuse to sign copies of issue 47, or does that seem kind of petty to you? He did create Major X, but in fairness, Rob is known for being inspired, let's say, borrowing designs from other people. Youngblood, for example, sprang from a failed Teen Titans pitch that he made to DC. If you look at it, Shaft looks just like Roy Harper, Arsenal. He says, actually in an interview, Shaft was intended to be speedy, Vogue was a new Harley Quinn design, Combat was a Kundian Warriors circa the Legion of Superheroes, did it for Photon, and Die Hard was a Star Labs android. I forgot who Chapel was supposed to be, so there you have it. The secret origin of Youngblood. Prophet obviously looks like Captain America. Die Hard looks like Captain America and Iron Man. Then you get people like Dark Thorn, who looks like Darkseid, or the Four, who look like the Fearsome Five. Deadlock, like Wolverine. Battlestone sure looks like Cable to me. Bedrock looks like the Thing. And you got Bloodwolf, that's clearly a ripoff of Lobo. Not Fighting American was stolen from Joe Simon, so much so that he actually threatened to sue Rob, but later, that did end up being published anyway. Deadpool, copied from Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, and obviously Spider-Man as well. Rob says he pitched Deadpool as basically Spider-Man with swords. But this character, Major X, is clearly a unique, brand new character that came just from Rob, as these images clearly speak to the opposite of. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. Is this something that you think Rob is in the right for? Do you think that he is acting out unfairly against the other creative teams, against Marvel, against his fans? Or do you support what he's saying? Have you bought the book as well? And which one do you think would be the first appearance? I've thrown out a lot of questions for you. Hope you guys can continue that down in the chat. Love to continue that with you as well. And that'll do it for this episode. This is Jesse here with JLS Comics, and this has been a summary of Major X's debut.